She called me a disgrace 10 years later. I landed with a surprise that silenced them. "You're a disgrace to this family." That was the last thing my mother said before slapping me across the face and dragging me by the wrist toward the altar. I was 19, shaking in heels, being forced to marry a man twice my age. My mother's business partner, rich, ruthless, and rotten to the core. So I ran. No phone, no money, just the last ounce of dignity I had, stuffed into a backpack. They cut me off, erased me like a stain. My father said I'd come crawling back. My mother swore I'd amount to nothing, that the universe had other plans, and so did I. Fast forward 10 years. The estate gates opened wide as the wind from my private helicopter whipped their expensive rose garden into chaos. I stepped out in a designer suit, hair slicked, heels clicking like thunder. And beside me, my 8-year-old daughter, radiant, confident, and grinning. My mother's mouth dropped. My father staggered like he'd seen a ghost. "Amelia?" my mother whispered. Is that you?" I smiled. "Did you miss your disgrace? Let me take you back for a second. I didn't just run away. I restarted. Waitress during the day, coded websites at night, slept in shelters and climbed. I got into Stanford, built a tech startup from the dirt, and sold it for $45 million before I was 28. Then I created Grace Code, a global app helping women escape forced marriages with legal, shelter, and visa assistance, used in 17 countries and counting. But here's the twist. That rich, ruthless man they wanted me to marry. He was indicted 2 years ago for fraud, tax evasion, and human trafficking. Guess who was one of the lead anonymous whistleblowers? Me. And guess who now owned this entire estate, thanks to a silent auction after my parents went bankrupt trying to cover legal fees? Also me. As they stared in stunned silence, I reached into my bag and pulled out a shiny new deed. "You have 48 hours to vacate the premises," I said, handing it to them with a smile. "But where will we go?" my mother gasped. I turned to my daughter. "Sweetheart, what do we say when someone tries to control your life?" She grinned. "We say, 'They don't own your future, Mommy does.'" Mic dropped. As I stepped back into my helicopter, my father dropped to the lawn. My mother cried silently, still clutching the title deed of a home that was no longer hers. I left with nothing. I returned with everything. And I brought the next generation with me. If this hit you right in the spine, imagine what's next. Subscribe to Cold Revenge, where every story is laced with vengeance, glow-ups, and justice that burns real good. Because sometimes the best clapback is owning the land they buried you on.